Okay. Well, hello, everybody. My name is Harlequin Murray, and I am an independent agent with David Allen Capital, just like you are. And it is my great honor and privilege to introduce our speaker today. Her name is Ellen Winn, and she grew up on her family's farm here in Dallas, Georgia. And she was a corporate trainer and operations director for Domino's Pizza. In 1997, she left the corporate world to open her own restaurant brand and has been a business owner ever since. Now, when we met, she was a national training director for a network marketing company, and she was a partner in a huge training center here in Atlanta. So it's obvious Ellen loves training and helping people. She is DAC's first and only area director at this time. So without further ado, let me introduce you to Miss Ellen Winn.
Hey, everybody. How are we doing tonight? Thank you, Harlequin. I appreciate that. And I appreciate you and all that you do for the team and for our weekly Zoom here. Couldn't do it without you. You've been my steady sidekick and co-host now for over a year doing these weekly Zooms. So appreciate you big time. Harlequin was agent of the month in the past. So she has proven leadership here with us and proven dedication to what we have going on with DAC. So got some good stuff we're going to cover tonight. I've got some announcements and we're going to do some role playing at the end of our training. So think about it as I go through some points here a little bit later on. If you would like to volunteer, I'll be calling for volunteers to be a business owner, making phone calls to me about funding. And you can ask me any question you want. Just think of what type of business you would have, how much money you're looking for, and we'll do some live role plays here shortly, okay? So let me go ahead and get us into screen share mode and pull up our start for the week, which I always do, which is team recognition. Harlequin, are you seeing that with thumbs up? Awesome, thank you very much. Okay, guys, well, I always like to start with team recognition, and this is our top recruiters. This got started by DAC corporate a little over a year ago, and they were doing it every week. And then when we launched Bank Breezy in May, they stopped doing it, but I've continued doing it because it is exciting to see all the new people that are coming into our team each and every week. So without further ado, let me get into it. For the week of September the 2nd through September the 8th, we're a week behind always when we do this on Monday. We had in first place, our top recruiter was Michael Edmondson. Congratulations, Michael, for having 7 new recruits for the week. In second place, we had Chris Bartalis with 5 new recruits for the week. In third place, two-way tie between Eric Johnson and myself. That is me, Prime Choice Partners, LLC. I normally put my name on there and take off the LLC, but did not this time. We each had 4 new recruits apiece. So congratulations, Eric, on your 4 recruits. In fourth place, we had Danny Thomas with 3 new recruits. In fifth place, we had a two-way tie with Orlando Darden Jr. and Mike Dew. They each had 2 new recruits each. Congratulations, Orlando and Mike. And I'm sorry, we had a 5-way tie in fifth place. And Sherrill Evans had 2 also. Ashield Hodge had 2 new recruits, and Patrick Hooks had 2 new recruits. So congratulations to all of you on the leaderboard, placing first through fifth place there with 2 or more recruits. We also had quite a few folks who had at least one agent or had one agent recruit for the week. And that would be Angela Barnes Roberts. Congratulations, Angela. CX Bauer. Congratulations, CX. Eric Brooks. Eugene Clapp. Marcia Clapp. Dion Davis, congratulations. Eric, Eugene, Marcia, and Dion. Quincy Dunham, Marley, and John Ernestberg, congratulations, Marilee and John and Quincy. Congratulations to Jackie Evans. Congratulations, Reggie Ficklin, Chuck Huckster, Chris Jean, Anthony Kentz, Carlos Knight, Tom Leeds, Daniel Montoya, Jovanka Principal, Mark Saunders II, and John Wallace. Congratulations to all you guys for having at least one new agent recruit for the week of 9/2 through 9/8. I always like to say, if your name's not on the leaderboard yet, but you're having conversations with people about our opportunity, or you're posting your link, or maybe you've started running Craigslist ads for recruiting, or you're doing what's most important, which is going through that warm market memory jogger exercise and really making a list of everybody that you can possibly think of, to let them know what you're doing and launch out loud with your business. It's just a matter of time. Even though you may not be on the leaderboard tonight, it's a matter of time before your name is showing up and you're getting recognized if you're doing the right things and promoting either the opportunity or promoting our business services. So let's get into the next part here on recognition. Today it was announced that Shantae Roddy has been named Agent of the Month for September. This is very exciting. I have been tracking her progress along the way with DAC, and she's always sharing great information in the agent group. She's had over 20 funding since we launched Bank Breezy, and she's earning significant overrides from her personally enrolled agents. So she's doing everything. She's recruiting, she's bringing on personal clients, and she's helping her team also get clients. She's probably earned more or higher enroller bonuses than any one person in the company based on what I'm seeing. I'm just guessing at that, but I would guess that she is, because she's doing such a great job of onboarding her new agents and getting that first 30-day fast start bonus. So look for her in 2 weeks, not this Friday, but the following Friday. She'll be interviewed, and we'll be sharing her golden nuggets of her tips and tricks and secrets that she would like to share with all of us. I think that'll just be a phenomenal call. So we're looking forward to that. Tonight, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about customer financing and how overlooked this program is with our DAC lineup. You know, we are a funding company, and funding is our flagship opportunity here to get the word out about Bank Breezy and our larger fundings on the DAC side of the house. But as I look at our product lineup and I look at the conversations that people are having, if all we're talking about is funding, it's like you've got the point of the arrow, and for you to get a client on board with us, your point of the arrow has to hit the bullseye for you to be able to move forward with that client. Meaning you've got to hit the client at the time that they're actively looking for funding, right? If you're just trying to promote Bank Breezy, sure, we always plant seeds, and those seeds may start growing and developing somewhere in time down the road. But you know, having that conversation with business owners about just funding is kind of keeping that target very narrow. So I want to talk to you tonight about customer financing and what a great door opener it is, what an easy conversation and what a welcomed conversation it is from business owners. And unlike funding and unlike payment processing, they're not getting their doors beat down by people trying to talk to them about customer financing, or what we call consumer financing. Our website says customer financing because we're promoting to merchants or business owners how they can offer financing to their customers, but it's actually consumer financing when the business owner is looking at it. But I'm going to take you through and just point you towards some training that can help you and take you through a few tips from my perspective on how to get better at being a door opener with customer finance and letting our experts take it from there. So this is a picture of our drop card, right? Where it says offer financing to your customers and generate more sales. It shows at the bottom we have 0% interest offers, instant approval, no recourse to the business owner if the client defaults on the loan, and then there are second chance programs. Excuse me, my phone fell off in the floor and I didn't turn it off here. Let me take care of that real quick. Mute. Okay, there we go. So let's go over and take a look at our DAC website. So just clicked on the page. And one thing that when you're learning this business, and I know we've got a lot that you can learn from bank Breezy to customer finance, to payment processing, healthcare, telecom, and all that. If you'll just focus on our funding and our customer finance, these other doors will open up for you just through you having general knowledge here. Outside of what I talked about a couple of weeks ago about being a door opener on healthcare, I really think that there's a limited window of opportunity here for that. So go back and watch that training from 2 weeks ago. It's posted on the YouTube channel now. I've started uploading all of my weekly team Zooms on my YouTube channel, so you can go back and watch those replays. They don't get deleted like I was doing with just Zoom. But back to customer financing, okay? Anytime you have a question about how our program works, refer to your website. Most of your answers or most of your questions are going to be answered on the website itself, right? So here's what your customer sees. It's a beautiful website, talks about how the program works, want to select the right lender for your customers, talks about that we have the best lenders for each industry, gives some examples of different business types: medical and dental, automotive repair, home improvement, jewelry, vocational schools, coaching, training seminars, veterinary, online e-commerce, and most other industries, right? So it covers the bullet points here in multiple places on the page. It's giving you an opportunity to get started. Get started, okay? Increase your sales. Here's the benefits. Increase average ticket by up to 85%. Encourage add-ons for your customers. Improve store traffic by over 20% when they're doing this as a marketing campaign and letting the public know through their ads that they offer financing. Increase sales conversions by making the purchase more affordable. There's the get started button again. Just they take them down the page, and once they've read enough information to click on that button, then they go in and submit to our financing partners. Why DAC? Shows what the offer looks like. Here's the benefits again: soft credit pull only, no hard pull. Gives the client instant approval. It's an e-signature, so it's totally online. They can apply via text or email. It's a simple website integration for the business owner. 100% paperless product, so ease for the customer and ease for the business owner themselves. They're not having to chase down paper to get this done. Merchant management dashboard for the business owner, advanced reporting. It's very low cost to the business owner. It's very much in line with if a business is accepting credit cards already, this is very much in line with credit card processing fees to the business owner. And if they're a medical office and maybe accepting care credit right now, our program blows care credit away as far as cost saving goes. And a business can get this platform live in as little as 48 hours, right? Remember, I'm on your website, so you don't have to remember all of these bullet points, and you don't have to say, where's that presentation? I'm just scrolling down the pages on your David Allen Capital site, right? So we got more points over here: low cost, easy startup, get started. How does this work? It explains it to the customer. Your customer answers a few basic questions and agrees to apply and see the offers. Again, soft credit pull only, not a hard pull. Number two, your customer is then presented with loan offers that they have qualified for based on the information that they just put in. And we have programs for most credit levels, right? And then they're going to be able to select the offer that they prefer out of all the offers, sign that as an online agreement, and then the client or the merchant is going to get funded, and the lender is going to collect payments directly from the customer. So the merchant gets paid by the lender, and this typically it can be within 24 to 48 hours, depending on what platform. And best off for the business owner, there's no recourse to them. So I had a lady call me today on, she saw an ad that I had run on Craigslist for funding. She called me and had a few questions. She said, my phone's been blowing up with people trying to convince me into these loans that are daily paybacks. And is your program the same? So we started talking, and I'll give you a demonstration a little bit later when we do role plays. But in that conversation, I did a little bit of digging with her, and I found that she has a coaching business. she's doing $40,000 to $60,000 a month in revenue in her coaching business. And I said, okay, so on your coaching business, what is your average package run to your clients? And she said, 2,500 to 5,000. I've got a couple of different programs that I offer. And I said, well, when people want to do business with you, do you offer a way for them to finance your program? And she said, I do a payment plan for them. So she's taken 100% of the risk when she does that, right? So our financing program, and I explained, I said, well, what if you could offer financing to your clients like you are now, but you didn't have to take the risk that they may not pay you in full. You didn't have to finance it, and you could go ahead and get paid up front for your services. And if you had that platform, maybe be able to create some higher price packages with some extra bells and whistles and some extra add-ons that they might not opt for otherwise. Would that be beneficial to you? And she said, yeah, how would that work? So guess what? She now has my customer finance link. We talked a little bit more, but she was very intrigued by what I had to say. So I sent her the link over to my website. So you've got this exact same website in your portfolio of web links, right? Just make sure that at the end of this link, davidallencapital.com/customer-financing/add your ID number before you send it out. So here, I've added my ID. I would copy it just like that and send it. Don't add your ID and then hit enter, because once you hit enter, it adds in these jump characters, !ref code equal, that you do not want to include when you send out your link. So if you have hit enter and those extra characters are in there, make sure you delete them out and just copy your clean link / your ID number. Okay, so let's go on down a little bit further on down the page here. Here's what they're going to see. Are you ready to supercharge your business? Let's get started. So let's take a look at the application page real quick and get started in as little as 48 hours. The client's going to fill in their information, their contact name, their business email, their phone number, the sales process. Is it face-to-face? Is it online, delivery, installation, call center, or other? How does that transaction transpire with the client, right? And then we have what type of industry. That's optional, but obviously that helps our finance team kind of get prepared for the call, because then they're going to be able to line up what type of industry platforms we have that would be best suited for this particular merchant. Do you offer customer financing currently? Yes or no, or not sure? And if so, what are their pain points? What is your current monthly financing volume? What's your average ticket? What's your gross sales as the merchant? That means all sales coming in on an annual basis, not just on customer financing. What date was their business established? We need to know that, because some of our platforms really want to see at least a year in business for that business for them to have our marketplace platform. So that's important, but we can still help newer businesses. So don't let that disqualify business at all. Okay. The state they're located in, any additional comments. And then if your link is populated correctly with your ID number at the end, it's automatically going to have your information embedded in the link as the agent who did the referral and your agent ID number. The minute that this gets submitted, then the client is going to see a page that has the contact information number of our enabled partner. It's going to be Joanne. It's going to have her email address and her direct phone number. So they could submit this and they don't even have to wait for Joanne to call. It'll say we'll be in touch within, I think 24 to 48 hours is what the confirmation says, but the client could just pick up the phone and call immediately and say, hey, I just filled this out. I want to talk to you about the program, right? So that's how it works. It's super, super easy. And then you're going to start receiving updates. So let me go show you the updates on this. Let me go down to the Agent Resource Center. Again, I'm on davidallencapital.com. Scroll down to the bottom of the page. On the Resource Center, here we are under customer financing for business owners. You have the overview of the service video, link to the brochure, and customer finance status update codes. When you open that, then this is where what you can expect if you have a customer finance client that goes in. All right. So let me see if I can blow this up a little bit, make the image bigger. And we got Bank Breezy and Enable on one page. So the lead in, you'll get that email, subject line lead in, then the contact made, proposal demo, et cetera, et cetera. So you've got your update status codes in this PDF, just like you do with Bank Breezy. So it's really super simple, but you got to have the conversations to get that information going. Okay, so let's go back over here to my slides, and let me go back one more here. If I can go forward, that opened up the page like I had it set to. It was working. Okay, so if you have not seen this video, I downloaded it from our Facebook page. Candace over at our partners with Enable did a 6-minute video on the benefits to the merchant and the pitch for you. What is your pitch to the business owner, right? So write down this link at the bottom of the video. It's just bit.ly/. Now this is case sensitive, so make sure you use all uppercase letters here. It's just capital D, capital A, capital C dash, capital C, capital F, DAC-CF, all caps, is going to take you over to my Vimeo channel, my showcase that has everything customer financing, right? So as you're talking, she does a great presentation here, but she hits on the pitch. You know, what would you say to a business owner? Just like I did with the conversation that I had with Nicole earlier today. So in that conversation, I'm like, hey, do you offer financing? She explained to me what she does, and is like, who do you use? Well, she does it in-house, self-finance, right? Are you happy with your service? Are you happy with what you're doing? Do you get a lot of declines? And obviously this would be a question for someone that already has a customer financing platform in place. Maybe it is a prime lender like Wells Fargo. I've got a couple of businesses around me that's who they use. Wells Fargo is their lender in the customer finance space. Guess what? They're going to require a very good credit score to be able to approve those clients. So now they have declines. So the question would be, do you get a lot of declines? And what do you do with those declines, right? Do you have an alternative option for them? How are their rates and fees, et cetera? I won't go through all of this because I want to direct you over to the video by Candace, and then that full portfolio of customer finance training that's on my Vimeo channel, okay? All right, so I'm going to recap what I covered maybe a month ago on customer financing and why you really need to be having this conversation, because it's a great door opener. Candace covers that in her pitch video, that it's a great door opener to have a conversation, to just get your foot in the door as being that business finance partner with David Allen Capital. And here's what we do. Are you offering financing, and going through your intro, right? But here's what you earn. And this is where there's some really big money in financing alongside our Bank Breezy upfront money. Financing is going to take 3, possibly 4 months before you really start seeing money coming in. So it's a building process, but our business as a whole is a building process. This is not a jump in and start making money immediately for most people. Now, we do have some agents that are just killing it their first month in the business because they're aggressively getting out and spreading the word about what they do with David Allen Capital, our funding products. They're either reaching out into social media groups, or they've already got pre-built groups, or they're just an online marketer, or they've got a huge warm market that they're reaching into, right? So a lot of agents are making a lot of money up front with Bank Breezy, but most people, this is a building process, and it's going to take time for you to establish, and time for you to get the word out, and time for you to have people trusting you that you're serious about your financing business, right? With David Allen Capital. So it takes time to plant those seeds and get the word out, but it'll pay you a lot of money in the long run. So we have some platforms that are free, on customer financing, there's no upfront cost and no monthly fee on some of them. Some of them, there's going to be an upfront fee. Some of them, there's going to be an upfront fee and monthly financing fee, which is $99 a month. Most of them will probably pay that unless they're a higher end client, meaning they're doing a lot of volume. But assume $99 a month. That's going to pay you $25 a month on that $99 fee. You'll see that $25 long before you'll see the residual off of the client. But I want to go through real quick and show you some of the potential earnings that you would have. If you brought in a client that is doing $50,000 a month in average financing, whatever that new financed amount is each month, you're going to earn 0.7% of, right? So 50,000 times 0.7% would mean that you're making about $350 a month residually off of that particular business. So 350 times 12, that one client that averages 50,000 a month in new financing is worth about $4,200 in annual revenue to you as the referring agent. Okay. If that business is doing 75,000 in new financing a month, that's 525 times 12. Well, that one client is worth about $6,300 a year to you in residual income. If they're doing 40,000 in average new financing, 280 times 12, $3,300 a year annual revenue or annual income to you, but paid on a monthly basis. At the end of each month, they'll total up that new funded business and you get paid residually off of that. What if they're doing 125,000 a month, a higher ticket like a flooring or a roofing company that has higher ticket sales, and each client coming in is going to be $10,000 to $15,000 funding? What if they're doing 125? That's $875 a month times 12. That client would be worth $10,500 a year to you. Okay. And what if they're doing 200 a month in new financing? I've got a client here in Atlanta. That's probably what they're going to end up averaging. That's about $1,400 a month in residual income times 12. That's over $16,800 a year. 3 clients doing $200,000 a month in financing will net you more than the average person makes in a year. And you could do that with 3 clients with those higher ticket sales. Okay. So I just want to open your eyes on the big money that is here with customer financing. And it's not like with Bank Breezy and our funding products, you go get a client, you get that immediate funding, and now you got to go get another client, right? We do have renewals, which will pay you residually over time. And we're starting to see those renewals come in right now with Bank Breezy. But in most cases, you got to keep getting new customer to keep that big money and that big income stream coming in. With our customer financing platform, you have the ability to keep adding new clients to your book of business. But as you add new clients, you're just stacking up what your monthly income will be over and over and over again, as long as that business stays open and as long as we provide the financing platform for them. So long term, there's a lot of money in the customer financing platform. And I really think that that you're missing out if you're not having conversations with those customer finance potential clients. Okay. Also, in our compensation plan, you have to be either engaged or amped up to earn on your team. And actually, if you're amped up, you're already engaged, because you're considered engaged if you are amped. And there's only 3 ways to be engaged, which makes you eligible for extra personal bonuses and extra earn overrides on your team, period. You have to be at least engaged. You get engaged by either being brand new in your first 60 days in the business. You're automatically grandfathered in and considered engaged your first 60 days, whether you have a client or not. The next way you get engaged is to have a personal funded client every 60 days. Every rolling 60 days, you have to have at least one funded deal with a new funded with a funded client. It can be new or a renewal, okay? But if you have 6 customer finance clients on the books that are continuously using our program month after month, you will never, ever, ever miss out on a team commission, or you'll never miss out on that extra bonus on your personal commissions. Even if you only get a funding every 3 or 4 months, if you've got 6 customer finance clients on the books, you're automatically considered engaged and you're automatically eligible for those leadership overrides and bonuses. So I would encourage you to start having more conversations with customer finance clients, right? And back to the compensation plan, maximize your earning potential. We've got to have this conversation with every training and every meeting that we have, and that is how to maximize the comp plan. You want to get amped, stay amped, and get yourself to DAC 4. How do you get amped up? You get a new personal funding every 30 days. And as someone who's actively out here promoting and working towards constantly having new funded clients, you can get to the end of that 30 days pretty quickly if you're not paying a lot of attention. So, and you could easily get to the end of 60 days if you're just getting clients through the funding process. And if you got to the end of the 60 days on funding and didn't get a new funding client, then you would miss out on overrides on your team. So go get some customer finance clients. You will be proud that you did. A year from now, you'll be going, oh my gosh, I'm so glad I started making this a bigger focus in my day-to-day conversations with people. Okay, so let's talk about funding. Go back to that in the getting amped and staying amped. Who to approach. Warm market info. Inform everybody in your warm market, the warm market business owners that you know. David says that 90% of that first commission check, first commission deposit that goes out to agents who he has to talk to that got their first funded deal, and he's asking them for their direct deposit information. When he talks to them, 9 out of 10 are saying that that client came through somebody that they knew, right? Either a social networking group that they're a part of, a friend or a family, or a referral from a friend or a family member. So if you're thinking that getting started and the first thing you need to be doing is advertising, you're going about this business the wrong way. I've been here over 3 years, and I just started doing ads last year because I launched out loud to my warm market. Believe me, there's still a lot of people in my warm market that don't know what I'm doing or don't understand it. But I've added in advertising as another means of reaching out. It is not all I do to get clients. So number 1 and number 2 is warm market. Go through that memory jogger exercise that I cover in our Fast Start orientation and start reaching out to people that you know. Number 3 is canvassing as a customer with drop cards. You know, follow your dollar. Where are you spending money? Make sure that those businesses that you're spending your money with understand that you offer funding, customer financing, or payment processing, whatever might be the best fit for them. Make sure that they understand what you do, right? Canvassing in an area where you can, as David says, paint the town blue, DAC blue, where you're picking an area and just targeting on a map, and you keep going out and making your circle bigger and bigger until you've covered every business in that particular area. Social post, we're going to hear some great stuff from Shantae Roddy as she does her interview next Friday on social media posts. Can't wait to hear that. And then, of course, advertisements on Google, Facebook, etc. Let me touch on this. I sent out an email last week. We just recently learned that Google does not like bankbreezy.com. They don't like it at all because whoever is reviewing their ads thinks that bankbreezy.com is representing as a bank, yet we are not a bank. So we've had several agents that had ad accounts have been shut down because they were using their bankbreezy.com link. So in that email that I sent out, I encouraged you to stop using Bank Breezy as your go-to link and go to davidallencapital.com 25 and up K page. Let me go over there and show you exactly what I'm talking about. So if you're new, you're tracking along with me here. So on your davidallencapital.com page, you have a tab at the top of your page that is essentially your Bank Breezy site, but it's off of the davidallencapital.com URL instead of bankbreezy.com URL, but it's going to take you to the exact same place. So instead of doing ads with Bank Breezy page, now I have gone back to using the 25K today tab of my David Allen Capital page. Just again, be sure that you add your agent ID to the end of that link and send that out. Use that in your ads, use that as your domain redirect or anything if you're doing any type of paid advertising with Google. The same holds true with Facebook. Facebook does not like Bank Breezy. So I would recommend, if you're using images in any paid advertising like that, that you get away from the images that have the word bank in them, unless you're using an image that says when the big banks can't help, we can. But I would get rid of the Bank Breezy image in any ads and don't use the bankbreezy.com web link to prevent yourself from having your ad account shut down. Okay, on to the next thing. And this was just announced last week on our Tuesday night training. They were talking about a live transfer lead program that was going to be ready to move forward here very quickly. David and Wade have been testing a lead program, which is live transfer. What is that? Live transfer is when you have a business owner that has filled out a form on a website. You've got a customer service rep that is calling them back, answering their questions about the form that they called out. They find that business owner is actively looking for funding right now. That qualifies as a live transfer lead. So they're making sure that they meet our minimum requirements. And then if you participate in this lead program, they'll do a live transfer. Live transfer is them dialing your number, the customer service rep with the business owner on the phone saying, let me connect you to one of our funding partners. Boom, they dial you, you answer the phone, and now you have a business owner that is supposed to be actively looking for funding during that transfer. Well, we had a to be announced and a to be determined, but today David announced it on our leadership call that he would be sending out an email tonight for those of us that sent the email as he instructed. And as I instructed as well, I sent you guys the email saying, if you're interested in this, go watch the video and follow the instructions. So what were those instructions? If you were interested, you had to send an email to David at davidallencapital.com, subject line leads, and then you'll be invited into that lead program. Well, that starts on Wednesday. Looking forward to that email tonight. And then Wednesday, they're going to be doing a call and explaining how that works. Now, the live leads are going to cost some money, anywhere from $25 to $45. I don't know what the price point is right now, but it's not something that the timid need to be putting money out into. In fact, you need to have done some fundings and you need to have talked to some business owners before you even think about putting yourself into the pool here. Otherwise, you're going to be muddying up the water for those of us that really know what's going on and how to handle a call with a business owner. So I want to go through this sheet, and this one sheet is again out of the Agent Resource Center under that first section, Business Capital, right under the green 1, 2, 3 at the top of the page. You'll see this PDF quick reference sheet for Bank Breezy versus DAC. If you'll have this sheet in front of you to learn both programs and have side-by-side comparisons on them, you'll be able to start arming yourself for these calls. But right now, I want to go over, as I said earlier, I want to do some live role playing here with a couple of you that would like to participate and be the business owner, calling me looking for funding. And I'll go through how I handle calls every day, because I talk to, I probably have a dozen calls coming in daily with people looking for funding. So very comfortable on the phone talking to people and asking questions. So let me go through This is the Zoom cheat sheet. So the way you're going to raise your hand is to go down to the reactions button at the bottom of the screen. When you click on that, it's going to open up smiles and a raise your hand. So you can raise your hand through the reactions there. When I ask you to unmute yourself, over in the far left bottom corner of your screen, there's a microphone. You click on it to mute, you click on it to unmute. You also have a camera or a video icon there. If there's a red line through it, that means you're not on video. You can click on that and it'll take you off of that picture image and show your smiling face on video, which I'd love to see you. So I'm going to go ahead and stop screen share and get over here to where we can do some face-to-face role plays. Harlequin, I see some stuff in the chat there. While I'm waiting to see if anybody's got a hand raised, if we have something in the chat that needs to be addressed, we can do that.
Yeah, actually, somebody sent me a private message. They had their hand raised earlier. They wanted to know, what are the qualifications for a business to sign up for customer financing?
They just need to fill out the form on the website and talk to the customer financing experts. That's it. Any business can go in and fill out the form and then let our customer finance team take it from there. They'll tell them whether they qualify. Some won't qualify, but they need to go through the process with the finance team. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. We get too deep in the details sometimes. You know, I had a couple things. One, somebody texted me the other day saying, you know, I've sent a ton of people through Bank Breezy and none of them are getting approved. What is up with this, right? Well, if that's the case, then you're probably targeting the wrong market, okay? 80% of the businesses that actually meet our minimum qualifications are getting an offer. They're getting approved and getting an offer. So if you're getting a ton of declines, if the decline is because they don't qualify, that means that you're attracting the wrong client to be applying for our funding. Okay. Congratulations, Shantae. I see that. Yeah, that's going to be a great call with her. Awesome. All right. So who wants to volunteer and be a business owner? Anybody can. It's okay. I'm going to be the one answering the questions. You're just going to be the business owner talking to me about your funding needs. Anybody? Don't be shy. We got a good group on here.
Ellen, how are you doing today?
Hey, Cheryl, I'm great. How are you doing? Are you going to be my business owner calling me?
Ma'am?
I said, are you going to be
the business owner
and calling me?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, awesome. All right, so ring, 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 ring. I'm answering. Thanks for choosing DAC. This is Ellen. How can I help you?
Hello, I seen one of your ads somewhere. I forget where I seen it at, and it's normal. But I have a coaching business, and I'm using this because I really was hit with the same thing that you were this week.
Okay.
But I'm thinking of finding a better option for my customers to finance for the program. It's usually about some of the courses run from $3,000 to $5,000, and I need some funding to lease a kiosk or something.
Okay.
So let me get clients to come talk.
Okay, so let me make sure I'm understanding your question. Sounds like it's twofold. Sounds like you're looking for funding for your business so that you have some working capital. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
yes, ma'am. I need working capital, and then I'd like to give it.
And then I also heard you talk about financing for your customers. So let's go through the funding for you first, okay? How much are you doing in monthly revenue?
It's usually between 25 to 30,000. Sometimes it's slower and sometimes it's better. You know how it
Okay.
is.
Okay. Oh, and by the way, I'm sorry, I didn't catch your name when we started the call. My name's Ellen.
My name is Cheryl Haynes.
Okay, good to meet you, Cheryl. So, okay, so you're doing 25 to 30. Let's take a look at this. Over the past 3 months, what is the lowest month that you would have done in revenue?
Um, really 5,000, I think was the lowest.
5,000?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, 5,000. Okay, that's great. You meet our minimum there because 5,000 is the minimum threshold that you've got to hit in revenue. All right. Secondly, are you operating out of a business checking account?
Um, well, I do most of my banking online. That's probably a holdup, right?
Well, it depends. When you say online, is that like you just do online banking and don't have checks, or what type of online banking are you referring to?
Online banking, like using PayPal, to send invoices, and I use them to do all my invoicing and keep my information of my clients and different things like that. It
Right. Yeah.
I can also receive Facebook Pay and Google Pay and things like that, but
Well, that's great. You're being resourceful in finding ways to collect from your customers, but we are gonna need to see a bank account that is a traditional bank account, right? Where we can pull your last 3 months monthly statements, where you'd be able to do payouts and receive money in that account. So PayPal is not going to work in that case. So I don't have a funding solution for you right now, but if I could give you some advice for you moving forward as a business owner, one of the main things that any lender, if you're looking for business capital, any lender is going to be looking for that traditional business account. So as soon as you can get that set up, it would be in your best interest. That way, all of your deposits go into that business account. That's going to help you establish yourself as a legitimate business. So in the future, when you need funding, those business lenders are going to look at you and see that you're well established with that bank account, where they can not only deposit money that they're loaning you, but they also need to be able to do a ACH withdrawal to get their money back in most cases. That's how our funding works. Okay. One other thing on this, let me ask you, are you operating with an EIN number?
uh no, ma'am. Still under the social security because I can do that.
Okay.
What I was going to say is, how many months would it take for me to get normalized through the bank? You know, if I transfer a huge chunk like $10,000 to a local bank, and how many months would it take for me to then get established with your
Yeah,
funding?
okay. Good questions. And I'm continuing on this path with you, even though, as I said, I don't have a funding solution for you today, but I really want to help you learn what most lenders are going to look for. So great question there. So yeah, we would need to see that you've been established in business for a minimum of 6 months. And I asked the question about the EIN number because our lenders really want to see that you're established as a business entity with that EIN number in
Uh,
that business checking account. Okay. So that'll help you. We can't
I
help
went
today, but that'll help you for the future.
Well, my business has been in business for 4 years now, and that's why I'm looking for different options, you know, to maybe maximize where I can invest in other things and different stuff like that.
Oh, I
But I
got you.
still want
And
to talk to you about the financing for my clients.
okay. Well, Cheryl, congratulations on being in business for 4 years. You've made it beyond that threshold that most businesses don't even survive. So congratulations there. Sounds like you just need to make a few little tweaks and transition from being that solopreneur operating through your social security number to really getting yourself established as an LLC or whatever your tax advisor would recommend. Get an EIN number, set up that business account, and you've probably got a very bright future ahead of you for being able to establish yourself and be able to borrow funding or borrow money through companies like us in the future. So, okay, back to the customer finance question. Yeah, sounds like you've got some high ticket items there, and our financing is real simple. It's all online. It's a paperless process. I'm not the expert on how our financing works, but what I would encourage is that you let me send you a link over where you can fill out some basic information about your company, and then you'll be able to immediately get a conversation started with our team of experts and our account manager there that can determine what platform would be best for you. We have platforms for poor, fair, and great credit, and I think you're going to be really pleased with the options that it'll give you. Plus, it'll give you the option to have higher ticket items, and you get paid up front without any recourse to you. So if somebody doesn't pay on their loan, there's no recourse to you whatsoever. That all falls on the lender's shoulders. So would you like for me to send that link over to you?
Yes, ma'am. Send that link. And is there a possibility that I could still use the current financing and utilize your services as well? Maybe try one client with your financing options and then try the other one.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're not an all or none platform. If you've already got financing established, you're certainly welcome to keep that and add our platform as a secondary platform, maybe for those that don't qualify for your current lender. And then you'll be able to really use both platforms side by side. I encourage you to do that. And I think that you'll find over time that our platform is going to be more robust than the other programs that are out there. But absolutely, you can do that. And again, our customer finance team, they're the experts on this, and they can give you some pointers as to how to maximize your income and be able to determine which platform you want to send your clients through. So what's your best email address, Cheryl? I'll get this over to you right now.
Oh, it's Kumbaya.
You don't really have to give me an email, but that would be my next question, right? What's your best email? I'm going to write it down. I'm going to repeat it back to her, and I'm going to say, okay, Cheryl, I've got this. Do you have any other questions before we get off the call?
I don't think so, really. I think we basically covered most of the stuff that I'm liable to hear.
Okay, great.
I appreciate you.
Yeah, well, I'm going to
your
get this email
time, and
out
I
to
will
you.
be looking forward to your email.
I'm going to get this to you in just a couple of minutes of us hanging up. And again, my name is Ellen, so it'll be from Ellen Nguyen, and the subject line will have customer financing info, and it'll be from my Gmail account. So make sure it doesn't go to your spam folder. Well, it's great talking with you, Cheryl. I look forward to hearing from you in the future, and I appreciate the opportunity to be of service. Have a great day. Appreciate the call.
You too. And
All right,
you
thank
too,
you.
Ellen.
All right,
I really
awesome.
think that I'm going to find a really good customer, though. You just give me a couple of options on some things, and I'm going to really hit on this week.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, thank you for playing role play here with me. I appreciate the questions, and nothing better than a live example of what you just went through, right? So thanks again, Cheryl.
Ellen, you're muted.
Okay, Eugene, can you unmute now that I'm unmuted? I saw his hand up. Let's try that again.
Can you hear me now?
I can. Yeah, there you are. Hey,
Okay.
Eugene.
So am I your next business owner or what?
Sure. You wanna call? Ring, ring,
No,
ring,
yeah.
ring. Thanks for choosing DAC. This is Ellen. How can I help you?
Hey Ellen, how you doing? My name is Eugene Clapp of Clapp Bedding and Furniture. And I saw
Hey,
one of your
Eugene, good to hear from you.
good,
How can I help you today?
Well, you know what? I'm gonna keep it short and sweet with you. I actually saw one of your advertisements about the funding, and I went on the page and I also saw something about the consumer financing that you do have. And because I'm in the bedding and mattress industry, we do want to offer financing to our clients. I have one platform that I offer now, but I need another platform that deals with some bruised credit And I want to know, do you all have that as well?
Absolutely. Yeah, we've got platforms for all levels of credit. So what percentage of your clients are getting turned down right now?
Right now, probably about 40% of my clients are getting turned down,
Oh
and
my.
I'm losing a lot of business.
Yeah, well, we've got a great solution for you. Now, I'm not the finance expert. What I would like to do is connect you and get you set up for a call with our financing manager who knows every platform out there. We have multiple lenders and multiple options for different industries, and she'll really be able to pair you up with the best fit for your business. So
Oh, okay.
I'd love to do that, and I can send you a direct link over there and just let you fill in a few answers about your business. Once you fill out that form, Eugene, you're going to get a thank you page. And if
Okay.
you want to save that page or have pen and paper, write down her name and number and email address, then you can reach directly out to her, not even have to wait for her to reach out to you. But she is quick. She'll get back to you within 24 to 48 hours if you want to wait for that process too.
Got it.
So,
Because I'm with Synchrony right now, and I need another option to also
oh yeah,
add with Synchrony.
I'm familiar with Synchrony. Yeah, and they not only are they expecting high credit rates from your customers to get approved, but if your clients do get approved, they have really high interest rates for their clients unless
Yes.
they're on a 0% interest. So you'll be very pleased with what we can share with you there. Now, you said
Fan-
that you had a question about funding as well.
Yes, fantastic. Yes, about the funding. Now, like I told you, I'm in the bedding and the mattress industry, and I do have 3 stores. And right now, we're doing probably about 75,000 a month in sales, and I want to expand to renting another location so I can go ahead and expand my profit. So I was looking to get possibly about 150,000 to go ahead and be able to expand.
Okay, so you say you're doing 75 a month. Is that per store or is that cumulative with all 3 stores?
That's cumulative.
Okay,
That's
all
cumulative.
right. So the way our funding works is we take a look at what your average monthly revenue is over the past 3 months. So if you looked at all 3 of your stores and the last 3 months bank statement of all of those combined, what do you think the lowest revenue would be cumulative with those stores?
The lowest was about 60,000. That was month before last.
Okay. All right, great. Well, the way our program works, we look at your revenue and your cash flow is what gets you approved for the loan. It's also going to be what helps you pay back the loan to our lenders. It's unsecured. So we're just looking at cash flow. And typically, whatever your lowest monthly revenue is out of the last 3 months, we can get you 1 to 2 times that amount as an approved offer from our lenders. Now, one of the things that makes us unique is that we're affiliated with over 50 lenders, all of the top lenders in the alternative capital space. So when you come through us, we're your one-stop solution. There's no need for you to go shop anywhere else because we're going to do the shopping for you. You come through us, we're going to get all your information together, and then we're going to shop it out to all the top lenders, bring you back the best offer. We're going to do a soft credit pull, so there's no hard credit hit there. And you can rest assured that when we bring you back the offer, you've got the best offer there is in the market. So if you're doing 60, looks like your best offer might tap out at 120 if that's your lowest month. So if you've got to have 150, we might not be able to get that full amount for you right now. Would it be possible that you take an offer for less than that 150? Would that help you in the process of what you're trying to do?
Well, hell, let's just go ahead and be real. The bank isn't offering me anything. If I can get 120, yes, I would take it. Now, I have a few questions for you as well. Number one is the payback on this. Do I pay this back weekly? Or am I paying this back monthly? Or how am I paying it back?
That's a great question. Well, remember, I said this is revenue based, so it's unsecured. So what our lenders have found is in your best interest as a business owner and in theirs, making sure that they get paid back without a security interest there, they are going to start out with either a daily or a weekly payback. Now, most of the time, honestly, it's going to be a daily payback. Some business owners don't like that up front, Eugene, but after they get established with that and see that that really helps flow with their cash flow and they can go ahead and budget for that, they love it. So daily, most likely in some larger cases, they'll do weekly, but we never do monthly payback at all. So,
Got it. Okay.
okay.
Point well taken. Now, as far as you said, I can get 120.
Possibly. I'm saying
Possibly.
that would be the potential based on what you're telling me. They
Okay.
may only come back with 60, but on our
Okay.
1 to 2 times your revenue amount, that would be the range that I would think you might qualify for. Now, there are a lot of things that the underwriters are going to look at. They're going to look at your average daily balance, and if you've been bouncing checks or any of that, plus your credit scores, a whole combination that they'll look at. But just in general, rule of thumb, 1 to 2 times your lowest monthly revenue over the past 3 months. So I really want to set the right expectation for you. So if they don't make that full offer to you, you're not disappointed. One other thing on that, if you get established with us, even though we can't get you the full amount right now, once you get established with us and start showing that positive payback, you're setting yourself up to be able to get additional money, additional funding in really short term, just by coming on board and starting to pay back what you've committed to. So the potential for you to be able to get that full amount that you're looking for is really there in the very near future if you can't get it at all today.
Okay. So now, what's the term of the payback? The length of the payback. Do I have a year? Do I have 2 years, 6 months? I mean, how long do I have to pay this back?
Yeah, well, all of our lending is short-term working capital. So you're going to have anywhere from 3 months to 24 months as the payback term, and that's going to really be dictated by the lender. They're going to calculate how much you're borrowing to what the terms are. What they don't want to do is put you in a situation to where you can't afford to pay them. So the underwriters will determine what that payback is, and that'll be presented to you when they present the offer. You know, they'll say, okay, you have qualified for X amount. Here's your payback terms. You may get multiple offers from multiple lenders, but our submissions team will bring all that information back to you, and they'll answer the hard questions that come through from the underwriting standpoint too.
Okay. Now, I do online banking. Is that acceptable?
Absolutely. Yeah, you're going to need to do online banking. And, you know, I haven't asked, but I'm just assuming if you've got 3 furniture stores,
Yeah.
you are operating out of a business checking account, right?
Yes, I am. I am.
Okay, awesome.
As
Now,
a registered business entity, yeah, I am.
okay, guys, just as a side note off of our role play here, even if he did not have an EIN, if he just had a business account set up as a DBA without an EIN number, he would still qualify here because remember, DAC, if they're doing over 20,000 a month, DAC can qualify a business that has a business checking account without an EIN number. So that's not absolutely necessary, although it is with Bank Breezy, you got to have that EIN. Again, that cheat sheet, that PDF sheet, if you've got that information in front of you as you go through this, then you've got a quick reference tool to go back to. Okay, thanks. Good point. Go ahead.
Okay, well, it sounds good. I'm glad I called. I mean, it's a twofold call for me. Like I said, I really want the information about the consumer financing, and then the funding is good too. So I would go to your website and I would fill out the information on the website, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. And I know you said you found me on an ad, but if you don't mind, I'd love to shoot this over to you in an email to make sure that you go to the right links on my site, because sometimes people get lost on the website there, and I want to make sure you have a direct link over to those applications that we've discussed.
Okay,
So what's your best email, Eugene?
my best email is
All right,
bigcatindustries@gmail.com.
gotcha. All right, I'm going to repeat that. Big, BIGCAT Industries. Is that all spelled out or abbreviated?
That's all spelled out.
Okay, gotcha. At Gmail. All right. Well, Eugene, it's been a pleasure talking with you again. My name is Ellen Nguyen. I'll be sending this from my Gmail account, and it'll say funding and finance that we discussed in the subject line. So be looking for that in the next 5 minutes or so. If you don't get it, please give me a buzz back. But I appreciate the call. Good luck with continued growth with your business, and I hope that we can find a solution that meets your needs. All right. I appreciate the call. Have a good one.
Sounds good. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Bye-bye. All right. Awesome. Thank you. Great role play there, Eugene. Good stuff. Anybody else got something that they want to go through? You getting any comments there in the chat box, Harlequin? Anybody that just joined as we're doing this conversation, they're going, what the heck are they talking about? I saw we had some latecomers pop in. Harlequin, are you there?
Yeah, it wasn't letting me unmute.
There you are.
Yeah, I don't, well, someone had a question about on the fund or the customer financing, if the business has to have a business checking account to be able to apply for that.
That's a good question. And I'm not 100% sure of the answer. So I'll defer that one to our customer finance team. Yeah, I don't know. Haven't had that one. I'll write that one down to find the answer to. Customer finance business account. Good question. Okay, I know one thing that that I was going to share that came across today was as I was talking to one of our new agents, he's like, okay, Ellen, tell me what you did when you first got started. What did you do to go get your first funding clients? And here's exactly what I said. I said, I started out launching out loud, talking to my warm market, letting everybody know what I was doing. I ordered drop cards and I started putting drop cards out, either face-to-face to a business owner in the door of their business, or as I said on one call before, putting them at the top of the door if the business is closed. So whoever opens in the morning, that card's going to tumble down at their feet. I've put a lot of business cards in doors of vehicles and parking lots where you go to the driver door handle and you've got that the little rubber molding up against the glass. I'll tuck it down between the molding and the glass. It just slides right down nicely in there. That way the owner of the vehicle sees it as they're getting in their truck and they're not irritated that they've got to get out and get something out from under their windshield wiper. I was putting ads on social media. I did a Google listing. I did all of those things when I first got started. And my first funded client was $150,000 deal. My first commission or pay plan was a little bit different. Then it was way different actually, because I couldn't earn double commissions, but my first check was $4,750. And when that call came in, the reason I wanted to do this role play with you guys tonight and really kind of walk you through thinking, I was scared to death when I got that call, just outright honest with you. I was scared to death because I wasn't really prepared. I wasn't rehearsed on how to handle those calls like I was doing with Eugene and Cheryl tonight. So when the call came in, I was downstairs in my home office here. I have downstairs, which is my living area, and then I'm upstairs in my home office. So when that call rang, it rang into my business line, which I always recommend that you have a separate phone number. So even if it's a phone.com for $10 a month or a smart line through GoDaddy, like I have with my 800 number, I recommend you have a separate number. So when somebody calls you, you answer the phone appropriately, right? Remember my role plays, I'm saying, thanks for choosing DAC. This is Ellen. How can I help you? So I'm presenting myself as the business when I first answered the phone. And I did that with that first client that I had. But she started talking to me and asking me questions that I wasn't really prepared to answer. So I quickly just chit chat with her and I said, well, tell me a little bit about your business. I'm making mental notes, but when Eugene was talking to me, I was sitting here with my notepad like I always do. When somebody's telling me what they want, I write down their name so I don't forget that, write down the business, what they're looking for, the revenue, et cetera. So I have notepads to take down that information. But that first call that I got, I was taking mental notes as she was telling me about her business. And I was making a beeline up my steps to get into my home office so that I could open up my computer screen and get my David Allen Capital website in front of me. So as I did the training tonight, taking you through the customer finance and saying that your website is always, always, always your best reference, guys, that's exactly what I did to land that first client, because I could have flubbed it big time. I could have messed up that call and not sounded like I knew what I was doing, and she probably would have hung up and called somebody else, right? But I asked questions, had her talking while I needed to make some time to get positioned in front of my computer. And then I opened up my funding application page on my computer, and I started asking her those questions because that went down the checklist of what was required for her to meet our minimum qualifications. And after I asked her those questions and the check mark was there that she qualified, I ended up that call saying, well, based on what you have told me, sounds like you meet our minimum qualifications and would pre-qualify for funding with us, right? Just took exactly what was on the website. And then when she said, oh, okay, great. I said, the best solution I can find for you is for us to get you through the website and have you talk directly with our submissions team, because I'm sure other questions are going to come up. I'm not really the expert. I pre-qualify people like we've just done on the phone, but our funding team can answer any other questions that arise. Would that be okay? Can I get your information and send you a link over to that application? She said, yes, I did. I did exactly what I just explained with Eugene and Cheryl, getting that email, repeating it, sent it over to her. And within 10 minutes, I had, congratulations, someone has pre-qualified at your David Allen Capital website. I had that email in my inbox and I'm like, yes, I did it. I got this lady, and I knew that she was needing a lot of money. So I was nervous as all get out. I was prepared. I say I wasn't prepared. I was prepared because I'd been through the training and I had relentlessly gone through the training and taken notes and notes. I have a 3-ring binder that I have to take pages out of and put them in files because I've got so many notes from all the videos that I've watched and all the live trainings that I always participate in. I was prepared. All of it was up here, but I wasn't prepared for that interaction with a live prospect that was needing our funding. But because I was mentally prepared with the knowledge, I was able to take my personal skills and my personal salesmanship and be able to walk it on through, sound professional to her, and get it over to the people that made it happen and got them funded. So that's really what this is all about. And guess what? None of it is going to be comfortable for you in the beginning. You can do role plays as many times as you want here, and it'll help you. It'll really help you. So I encourage you to pick a partner and do what we did tonight. Pick someone, your child or your spouse or a neighbor, or find another person on your team, and y'all do those role plays back and forth with each other and do that question and answer to where you get comfortable having conversations with people. But there's nothing like having that off the cuff conversation when a real business owner calls you and starts asking questions. So I hope this has been a helpful call tonight and been insightful for you to see some of the things that you can really do to prepare yourself. And it goes back to what's about to happen with those of you that are wanting to participate in the LEAD program, because those live transfers are going to be exactly what I just went through here. They're all going to be about funding, probably not the customer finance. But trust me, anytime I have a funding call, I'm friendly with people. And because I'm friendly and I congratulate them and say, hey, congratulations on 4 years as an entrepreneur, and just start being personal with them, they're willing to talk. I'm not just cut and dried with the conversation. I'm making it about them, and I'm wanting to help them and find other solutions to help them. And because of that, it leads to that conversation about customer financing, or, how big is your business? With Eugene and his 3 stores, if he comes on as a client, or even if he doesn't, another conversation, I would probably follow up with him, reminding who I was, and say, hey, I was thinking about you after we talked. How many employees do you have? And then I would lead into the conversation about what they do for healthcare. Do you offer healthcare to your employees? And probably not, right? So it might be an opportunity for me to open that door and show him how he could set himself above other employers in his area that aren't offering a benefits package, which is the number one thing people are looking for is healthcare. If they aren't offering it, he can set himself above the other employers by offering that as an optional benefit that won't cost him a penny. So the more you know about DAC and the more you dive into our whole portfolio of services, the better you're going to be as an agent, because you'll be able to bounce from one conversation to the next without confusing the client. You just ask questions and let that client tell you what their needs are in the process. Okay. All right. I'm going to wrap up here. Harlequin, do you got any questions or comments from the chat or personal
Yes,
comments you'd like to make?
we've got a couple of questions. Jesse Grady was asking, is there a way to get drop card image for local printing?
I have a scanned copy. I'm happy to share that. It's a digital
Yeah,
version. You need to
I
send.
think normally they say that the printer is supposed to be doing those. Haven't heard of them allowing anyone to use a local printer.
Right. Well, it needs to be the same print. Remember when we did the emergency funding and we had that digital copy? I've got a digital copy like that. It's a scanned copy, but it's the exact image. So I have that where you could do a flyer, but you couldn't print your own cards. Okay. Because you're not going to get the same quality of the cards. And honestly, you're probably going to spend more money than what you would do if you went through a local printer. But you can send me an email at workwithellen@gmail.com and we can talk about it. Okay.
Okay. And then Amanda has a question. Where can I find the Bank Breezy application that I can read over or watch the video so that I will know what my potential clients are going through when they put their info into the Bank Breezy website?
Hey, that's a good question, Amanda. There are screenshots of the application process in the training and in the training that we did last week. So those screenshots are out there, but really the main thing you need to know is that the business owner is going to need, if you look at that PDF where it covers the minimum requirements, it's basically there. There's a couple of things outside of that PDF. One is for them to list a website. That website can either be a website or it can be a Facebook page, or it can even be their Secretary of State website that shows their company name. All they're wanting to see a website for is to see that they're a legitimate business. Okay. So if they're not established with a fan following on Facebook or they don't have that website, they can use that Secretary of State page showing that they're a registered entity as their web link. That's the one thing that's going to be on there that's not on the PDF. That's pretty much it. I did field a call today from the lady I referenced earlier named Nicole. She called me about all of these different companies that she's getting calls from, but they were wanting her bank information to link to a bank account to verify. And she said, it just didn't feel right. They're calling me. I don't know who they are, and they're wanting to get into my bank account. Didn't feel right, but we do need funding. So therefore she found me. And in that conversation, I educated her on our decision logic. I'm looking up because I have decision logic on my cork board on my wall in front of me. So important notes that I need to know and sometimes can't pull out of my memory banks. I have it in front of me here, right? So she started asking and I explained that to her, and she was comfortable with the process after I was friendly, talking to her on the phone, relating to her personally. And guess what? I sent her the email and she's already applied for funding. So it works, but you guys have just got to be able to push on through that process. You don't have to be the expert. I appreciate that question, Amanda, but just know the basics and then tell them to go through that form. And again, it never hurts to say what to do. If the client goes in and they get the duplicate, that means they need to go back to the link that they originally started filling out, find the email or the text message, click on that link to go back in or if that doesn't work, then they need to send an email to apply@bitty, advance.com. They need to include the business owner's name, the business name, the EIN number, the cell phone number of the business owner, and the email address that they applied from, saying, I'm getting a duplicate. Can you please reset the link so I can apply? And they'll be glad to do that. All right. Any other questions there?
Yeah, Cheryl Haynes has a question.
Okay.
I'll let her go ahead and ask it.
I was gonna ask, now you did say that you could use a DBA instead of, they could have a DBA instead of the EIN. Is that what I understood you to say?
Only for David Allen Capital, right? And they don't even have to be a DBA for David Allen Capital. As long as they've got a business checking account, that's fine. They don't have to have an EIN,
Okay.
but that means they've got to be doing at least 20,000 a month and have 3 months of bank statements showing that 20,000 plus revenue to be able to qualify on the David Allen Capital side of the house. So if they have less revenue and have to go through Bank Breezy and our Bitty Advance partners, that won't fly without 6 months and an EIN number over there.
Okay, thank you.
All right, great question. Okay, no other questions tonight? All right, guys, thank you so much for your attentiveness, your interaction. Cheryl, Eugene, I appreciate you actively engaging in role play. That was great. Harlequin, again, I appreciate you always being a great co-host here. Anything that you want to close out with that I have overlooked or need to mention?
No, the only thing that I will make the comment on, just in case anybody goes and saves that screen print where you had the dollar amounts for the customer finance.
Mm-hmm.
You said you totaled it up. That was only 5 clients plus one instance of the $25. You would actually get $25 per account.
Oh yeah,
So
where I didn't include
that
in the
total
totals.
is-
Yeah.
The total's incorrect. So you'd actually make more. Plus you would need to have a 6th client. So anyways, I just thought I would mention that.
Yeah.
Just in case somebody.
So, yeah, I pulled that from another presentation and I may not have copied
Yeah.
that 6th one over, but yeah, thanks for pointing that out. More money is always good.
It's always good. Exactly.
All right, guys, look, we're here. Today is the 13th, and I noticed our recruiting numbers are down. I think everybody really took advantage of the Labor Day weekend and we're in holiday mode there. So if you're ready to ramp it up, it's time to ramp it back up and get those conversations going, bringing on new agents and really getting the word out about our funding and our customer finance program, because we're going into a super busy time for us opportunity wise. So I will be taking advantage of the timing in the marketplace right now. All right. Thank you all. Appreciate you all. I'll see you on the next Zoom and look forward to see your business grow. Have a great night, everyone.